So the last thing that I wanted to add to the yoga tips for this week was about breathing. So during your practice, I noticed some students holding their breath, which is easy to do subconsciously, but that you want to avoid that during yoga practice. Try to use your inhalations to extend and try to use your exhalations to relax into a pose. And try to completely fill your lungs and completely empty your lungs each time. So it goes into the mental game that is yoga. So, or, the goal of yoga, which is to tame the mind. And we do that in Hatha yoga through physical postures. So when we get into uncomfortable physical postures or these asanas, the mental challenge is to find a steady and comfortable position within the asana that you're practicing. And so that means if you have to scale back the asana so that you're able to fully breathe in and out, like take a few calm, deep breaths in the pose, even if it's much less than what you thought you could do if you hold your breath and push it, but only hold it for like a second, that is more like what you want to do. You want to scale back the pose so that you can breathe fully and calmly and convince yourself that you're comfortable in that pose, because that's where you find the benefit. That's where you not only increase your physical flexibility through continuing to practice that way, because you'll make progress little by little, but you will get the mental benefit there as well, because that mental benefit comes when we train our mind to find peace and comfort and safety in seemingly awkward and uncomfortable positions. And so that's something to ponder throughout all of your yoga practices, throughout all of your poses, is like checking in with yourself. How am I feeling mentally, physically, and emotionally? It's not, how do I look? Does this look like the right shape I'm supposed to make? It's, what is this pose supposed to feel like? Am I stretching and strengthening the muscles that this pose is aiming for? And how am I feeling about that? So again, like we talked about in week 1, these are physical postures, but they're one of many practices within yoga as a whole that are used to tame the mind, if you will, or control the mind, teach your mind how to behave, how to not like get pulled around by different things that are happening to you. And the breath is where we can start with that, especially when we're practicing our asanas. So the moral of this is just, if you find yourself in a yoga pose and you know that it's out of your comfort zone and you're straining to be in it, you need to scale back, and the breath will tell you if you're straining. If you feel like you're holding your breath to get to a certain place, it's not what you want to do. We don't want to hold the breath in an asana really at all. Holding the breath is part of pranayama, and we will go over that in a few weeks. I know that we had one pose where we hold the breath during sun salutations, and that is a practice where we combine pranayama with asana. But usually, if you're holding your breath during an asana, you know that you are straining. So you should modify that pose so that you can be steady and comfortable, breathing deeply, and essentially finding peace, stability, and balance and comfort in a seemingly awkward position. And therefore, yoga helps us throughout everything in our life to find peace in any situation. And that is the the biggest benefit. The biggest benefit is mental. It will make you physically healthier. Yes, and it really, truly will. But the bottom line is, if we can harness our mind and approach life with full control of our mind and our capacities, we can be more effective. So there's a saying, you can't find peace on a mountaintop or chaos in a city. And with yoga, you find each of them within you. So, you can go hike a mountain and be on the mountaintop. As if you live near me where I'm teaching, there are a lot of mountains, people go hiking. Have you ever been on the top of a mountain or in a beautiful place looking out, but you still have a busy mind and you don't have peace? You don't find your peace on the mountaintop, you find it within you. Similarly, you could be in the middle of the Mahakumbh Mela with like millions and millions of people. You can be in the middle of Walmart at Christmas, and you might be surrounded by chaos, but you might feel peaceful. That's coming from within you. So, in yoga, we learn to harness our ability to control or calm our mind. And these asana and breathing practices are a place where we can start. So when we're practicing, this is just a reminder to stay focused on that concept of listening to your body and doing the poses only to the extent that your body can do them and feel comfortable, and breathe fully, because that's where you'll get the full benefit.